there, it's Natasha and thank you so much for joining me today. I really wanted to do some foiling on my cards and I do not use a laminator. So I thought I would share with you guys my go-to option when I want to use foiling. So this is the Deco Foil Liquid Adhesive. Now there are several different types of this out here. This is just the most simple one for me. It's got no rules to it kind of thing. So all you need to do is I squirt a little bit out on the top of the stencil, but you could pop it out on a spare piece of paper and then just use a spatula or a little palette knife or something like that to pop it over your stencil. And in this case, I am using a craft piece of paper to stencil on top of, so you just spread it through nice and evenly and then wait for it to dry. And you will know that it's dry when it is all nice and clear and shiny, and it does dry a little bit tacky as well. So today I'm going to use gold foil, but there are so many different foils out there, so just try and see what you have in your stash. And then you press the foil down so that the patterned or pretty side or coloured side is face up. And then I just use my fingers to kind of make sure that everything is adhered nice and evenly, and then peel back the foil and you have a beautiful foiled pattern. So this looks gorgeous just as is, and I've been really enjoying some kind of more simple styles of card making recently, and I have found myself with not as much time as usual, and sometimes we just want cards that aren't quite as complex. So from here you could go to a million different amazing places with this background, but I'm going to keep it relatively simple today. So I have some black cardstock and I'm cutting these slightly wider each time. I'm not measuring, I'm just making one kind of skinny strip and then one a little bit wider than that and then a little bit wider than the previous one. And sometimes on a card you just want the background to shine. You want the background to be the hero because that is the gorgeous part, or the part that you spent a lot of time on creating, and so we just want the background to shine. And in this case I literally just want the background to shine. So I have got all these strips here, and on the widest strip I have this Altenew set here. This is called Heartfelt Sentiments, and this is one of those ones that I will just keep going back to over and over again because it has a really good range, and that's what I need in my card making. I don't want to have a million packets of sentiments. I just want to have a really good couple of go-to sets, and I'm definitely getting that in my stash now. As I said, I don't have a big space at all, so I really just want to make sure that the stamp sets and things that I do have are ones that I'm going to use again and again. So I am going to white heat emboss this. Make sure you use an anti-static powder bag, and then I use some white embossing powder on top of the largest black strip, and it just says "You are the best." And I quite like this kind of sparkly shiny card that says "You are the best." That to me kind of fits nicely. Then just as a little finishing touch, I've cut some little gold strips that are going to go underneath the black strips that I cut, if that makes sense. So there'll just be a little bit of gold shining through underneath that, and again that's just a little finishing touch that adds a little bit more than just the black strip. And I know that all of the ends are really uneven at the moment, but everything will be trimmed up. So I have again just got some double-sided tape on the back of these. You could definitely pop them up on foam tape as well. That would give them a little bit more dimension, but this one is going through the mail and it is going far afield, so I wanted to keep it nice and flat. So again, I'm not measuring, but I am trying to get these lines relatively straight, and I will just leave a small gap in between all of them. And then, as I said, everything's kind of overhanging, and I like that I give myself a little bit of room to decide where it kind of fits best on the card with the sentiment. So it was nice to be able to kind of shift it left and right and figure out where I wanted it to sit. I'm popping this on a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card base, and then because it was just missing something, I'm going to add some little white gloss Nuvo drops, and I find that this finishes it off perfectly. I say it often that the finishing touches often make a card. So that was my card for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you are able to go ahead and do some foiling without using a laminator, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, bye!